Okay.
That man in the mask, he's from afar,
So
isn't
now we are truly
yes.
CIRI.
From very far away.
he? Where exactly?
Aren't you nosy?
Surprised?
Real quick.
Been sitting in this fish puddle me whole life. I'd love to travel like you.
Like me? No,
stuff here to
you wouldn't
look
like that. Trust me.
Yeah, CIRI's been through some stuff. I don't think you really want to be traveling like her. Also, I really like that you see our HP right now is quite low, and that is rather fitting. Doesn't just, you know, have us playing as CIRI now. She's at full HP, like, oh, I'm fine, don't worry about it. It's a small little detail, but I appreciate the attention to detail. Like that. Oh, there's still one more thing for us to look here, but maybe not. So I suppose we can keep on going. Excuse me? Also, where are we? Okay, yeah, we are in Lofton. Okay, gotcha. Though it does look a little bit different from when we were here with Geralt not long ago, because, well, this is presumably pre-catastrophe. You know, we may or may not have been the cause of that, but we'll see. Okay, where exactly are we headed? Oh, also, sorry for getting in your way. Also, I'm pretty sure you just chose the least efficient possible way to go over here. Should I just ignore you and go to this building?
Alright. In you go and get out of those rags.
Okay. Potential NSFW moments coming up here, depending on how this plays out. There we go. Yeah. Here. I think we have to. Children avert your gaze. Let's wrap ourselves in a towel. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, I do not see the towel, but I assume that the towel is on. So let us go to the sauna. I mean, I do still think that CIRI has a very good point that we are in a hurry. So, like, the quicker we can go, the better, probably. Okay, yep.
Finally.
Like I said,
I was so
NSFW.
worried you'd- Ah,
At
Mum,
least for the
you
moment.
always worry. Everything's fine, ain't it?
Yes, it's fine.
Good. That's good. But why have you got the towel, child? It'll just get wet. Mum, she's from the continent. She's shy.
I feel like this is just an invitation for us to take off the towel, which is not really what I'm looking to do here, so let's just say we're still
I was
cold.
worried about drafts. A lung infection's the last thing I need right now.
See, Astrid, girls your age can be sensible after all.
Sensible girls aren't tossed on shore by the waves.
Hey, we've been through a lot, okay? That's a long story. It's a very long story.
Here we are gabbing away. Steam's gone. Gotta douse the coals.
Something is about to go down.
Say, back home, have you got saunas too?
I'd rather not talk about myself. I mean, that is kind of true. Kind of just trying to get out of here as quickly as possible because we are on the run. So probably good to limit the amount of information we give you, and also good to just, well, skedaddle as soon as possible, which is what I was starting to say before. I feel like as much as these people are insisting on us trying to go to the sauna and maybe heal up a little bit, you could maybe make the case that we should just ditch town right now if we can, which I'm not sure if we can, but let's just say, let's keep the chatting to a minimum.
Myself.
Why's that?
Uh-oh.
Someone might come looking for me. I wouldn't want to cause you any trouble.
It's too late for Skjal.
What?
He's head over heels for you, girl. Sat at your bedside all the day, staring like he was painted by a master.
Astrid, I asked you not to tell her.
Oops. Well, now the milk's spilt. Do you fancy Skjal?
See, now's not really the time. Yeah, sure, he seems nice, but to tell you the truth, well, let's see, so he's not that bad, would be, what, saying, like, yes, we like him. Seems nice as maybe, like, the friend zone answer, which is probably what I'm looking for. I think we'd try to friend zone him. I'm sorry, Skell.
He seems nice.
Oh my.
They
Is
know.
that bad?
They know
Even
we're
asked
friend
her
zoning him.
Who she likes is her affair, and it's not to you.
Listen, it's lovely sitting here with you, but I really must go now.
I understand. Who'd want to stay in this hole? We're all related 3 times over, and the air stinks of fish.
I can't see how you're related to anyone here. No one in Lufferton groans and bitches quite like you do. Sit down and be quiet.
Fighting words.
Child, Skjald's certain to have readied the horses by now. But before you go, you ought to take a quick jump in the water. It'll do you good.
I mean, we really should go. Like, oh, well, why not? Sounds so much like a, this is a really bad idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway type of situation, which I'm feeling like we probably don't want to do. So we really should go, like, really should go.
I'm sorry, but I really must go. Thank you once more.
And once more, there's no need. God's bless your journey.
Okay, so let us skedaddle. Let's see. Oh, optional jump in the water to cool off and regenerate. Okay, this might actually give us like HP back. Success, I suppose. Kind of, sort of. Okay. Just allow that to get us back up to full HP. Or not quite full, but close to it. All right, I suppose we can settle for that. Wait, what is? Drink a shot of Freya's fire water to warm up? No, this is good enough. We'll be fine. We'll be fine with like 90% HP. Is that how we get out of how do we get out of here? Is the thing? It's like I would like to. Do we have to do it? It says it's optional. Where's the place where we? Yeah, I think we probably do this and dress up and leave. Okay, so we did get some HP back, which normally CIRI will actually regenerate her HP, but when she's injured like this, I suppose she actually can't. So, I suppose that is perhaps the reason why is more significant this time around to do the healing. Can we fast travel with CIRI? No. Okay, that would probably make it a little bit too easy to run away from people who are trying to chase us. Okay, so this is what we're looking for.
Oh, you're here. The horses are ready.
As am I. Shall we ride?
Listen, I hope... My sister, she didn't talk any nonsense to you, did she?
No, of course not. Yeah, see, we really don't have time for any of that stuff right now.
Sorry, but I can't bring myself to chat right now.
Right. Besides, it's not important. I'll
Sorry,
take
but
Nora.
in the grand scheme of things,
You
it
can
kind of
ride
isn't.
back. She's old, but she'll make the...
That doesn't sound
Stay
good.
here. I'll go and...
I can look after myself.
Thank you very much. Yeah, see, here's where stuff starts to go very awry. That looks like a Hound of the Wild Hunt. This guy's like, I've never used this axe before, but it's first time for everything. That is a big hound. Try to defeat the warriors. Why does it say try? Not just defeat the warriors? This makes me a little bit confused. Do we not need to defeat them? Is this like a just do your best and that's enough type of situation? That does feel a little bit strange. Oh, don't get hit by that. Okay, so we don't have a lot of HP. It's one thing to note here, but we have this little dash, which is very nifty for trying to not get hit by that. And ideally, dashing behind people. Oh, don't slap us in the face. That's not cool. That hit us. So like I was saying before, normally CIRI would regenerate HP, but I think in her weakened state she cannot do that, so that makes us particularly vulnerable. Don't hit us. Don't hit us. Don't hit us. That makes me particularly concerned about taking the damages. Okay, one down. Oh, our friend is not so living anymore. I'm afraid he's not so living. Also, like in theory, are we supposed to be trying to protect these people? Is that the idea? Because we failed with our friend. Okay, I just stood there and tanked that, which is not a good idea. Please don't hit us. This guy's actually weaker than the other one. Yeah, the first one we fought was like level 20 something. These guys are 14. So in theory, they probably have less HP. Yeah, we got hit several times there. Not good. Ooh, that's a little torch got in the way of me trying to dash out of the way. Wait, don't smack us. Our damage is also quite little, in case that was not clear. Another one down. Don't get hit by that. Another hound. That one's 12. We have, in theory, at least, one friend remaining. We beat up the hound. Let's not get too aggressive here because we're getting pretty low on the HPs. But we might have done it. Okay. I think we did. Now, in theory, we could loot. But we may technically really need to run. Kind of, sort of. We should probably run, like, right now. The horse is here. Our friend totally died, but apparently he's come back to life to help us run away.
The world's end.
No, not yet. But I must go. They're here for me.
Get on the horse. I'll show you the way to the rock.
What about your family? You should stay here.
You should stay. See to Astrid, your mum.
Afterwards. Once I'm sure you'll make it. Let's go.
Right, if you insist. But we know things are not going to end well for you. Alright. Alright, I don't actually... Yes, I was going to say I don't actually know if anything's chasing us, but I think there are definitely things chasing us. Good to know. I can't really go any faster than this. I'm afraid. Ooh, this is as fast as it goes. Also, any time for us to say, take a quick break and get some stamina back? Because, we're kind of running low on that stuff right about now. If we just, like, you know, chill for a second, maybe? Get, like, all of it back? Yeah, they are truthfully chasing us here. I do think that there might actually be some that could catch up to us and cause a game over, so that's probably important. That doesn't happen. But we are limited in how much stamina we have, because, like, look on our mini-map, you'll see every once in a while, if we wait too long, you'll see a red dot show up. I mean, every time you're going to see a red dot if we run into any of the wild hunt hounds, but here we are, it seems. Maybe? Is that our guy? I think that's our friend. Here are the wild hunt people. What? Excuse me? Oh, there goes Skell. But our friend used Axie on us, it seems, to stun us, throw us in the boat, and then ride off of the boat. I don't get why that happened, though. Did you deliberately stun CIRI in order to make her lie down like that so they wouldn't see her? As you're sailing on? I mean, surely they know that you have her. Dude. Uh-oh. Skell? Not so dead after all? What is that? I do not know.
What became of that creature? Where is he?
Stop!
What?
I saw him. But he sold him.
To whom?
Don't know.
Begone.
Tell them. Clear my name.
Be gone, I say.
Yeah, he may not want to stay gone. We might actually need to fight him. But yeah, there's some necromancy for you. So, how about that weather? The tree is watching and is judging you for what you've done. So, did the garden just get drained of all of its life? Because I know you were saying in order to perform that ritual, you did need to have a lot of sources of energy. And you said, oh, don't worry about it. We're in a huge magical place like this garden. And, well, you might have just drained all the energy out of it to pull this off.
What?
Might not be coming back.
What happened to the garden?
It died. Like I said, the spell, it requires a great deal of energy.
You knew it would end like this, didn't you? Didn't consider it worth mentioning?
No, I knew you'd protest. Your sense of decency is charming, but it does get in the way sometimes.
That does make me wonder. Other things we were doing in this area, like when we were encountering Morkvarg and we told him that we would try to lift his curse. Did we run out of time, so to speak, to do that because we did things in this order? Did we have to resolve that subplot before we did this? Otherwise, it's no longer possible. I wouldn't necessarily rule that out. But anyway, we'll see what comes of this once we're done talking with Yennefer and see if there is a chance for us to still finish that up. But how are you doing after that black magic that you just performed?
Yen, are you alright?
I'm fine now. The spell. Imagine putting wriggling cockroaches in your mouth, or swimming in manure. That's more or less how it felt.
Lovely. You were pretty harsh with the guy that you just resurrected. This is true.
Could have shown some sympathy for the boy.
That was no boy, Geralt. It was a hunk of rotting, rancid flesh that spoke through my magic.
Didn't just speak. It howled in pain.
I know it seemed real, but it was no longer human. Do you understand?
Debatable?
Geralt, I know we should talk, but not here, all right? I don't wish to stay a moment longer.
Yeah, I do get the sense for your...
Our
Yeah,
garden.
probably
How
about
could
to
you?
have some bad stuff go
We
down.
help. And you. And consent.
Yeah, you're not gonna be very pleased with us.
Now.
Don't you dare try to calm me. We'd every right to be furious. Furious! And you will pay for this.
Sorry? I'm not sure either of these is really gonna fly. Don't see ourselves wiggling our way out of this situation really with either of these. I don't think they're gonna take sorry for an answer. We can try to say we had no choice, which is maybe slightly better, but I think it's still likely to not get a lot of sympathy.
We had no choice.
And I do think we're about to get teleported out of
We'd
here,
never
probably,
learn
or
what
kicked out of
happened
here,
to her.
so we probably are not going to be able to finish the
Really
Morkvarg
think you're
subplot,
justified?
unfortunately.
That your hunt for a foreign woman gives you the right to destroy our garden.
I'm sure it doesn't in your eyes.
I shall make sure all Skellige hears what you did here.
Wait. I did this. I alone. Geralt tried to stop me. I refused to listen.
I might have known. They warned me about you. Sorceresses.
Yennefer trying to take the
None
fall
shall open their door to you.
in order to
None
give us the
shall
chance to
feed
stick around
your
and investigate
hunger,
further.
And none shall tend to your wounds.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Sounded a lot like what happened to Morkvarg. Curse somewhat like that?
Yen, you didn't have to do that.
But I wanted to. I'd rather not talk about it. We must focus on what Scal told us.
Okay. So... do we know Ciri's not in Skellige? Oh, yes. So she she went off in a tiny little boat, which apparently Geralt is assuming was enough for her to make it from Skellige to somewhere in the continent. But that's saying something, because we were making a big deal about making our trip over from the continent into Skellige, and we had to have a professional sailor on a pretty big ship to make that happen. So, you know, the little rowboat with the series friends, I wouldn't think would cut it, but apparently so. Okay, so there's that. Otherwise, the ugly creature is linked to Ciri somehow. Both these things.
Didn't learn much, though we can be sure Ciri's not in Skellige anymore.
I suppose.
Not in Velen or Novigrad either. She's disappeared. Again.
Perhaps we should re-examine what we've learned. We might have missed a clue that would push us forward.
Certainly hope that's the case. Makes me wonder what she's gotten herself into.
Can't even begin to imagine. But we will pull her out of it. Safe and sound. That I promise you.
Okay. Sure. That does imply that there are still, I mean, the way they phrase that, there are still more clues for us to uncover. Makes me wonder if, I mean, there's certainly more things for us to do around this immediate area. Maybe not directly tied to Ciri, we've probably exhausted all of that. But, it just seems, seems like an odd way of putting it.
Key to finding Ciri is that ugly thing Skjall saw on the beach. That's what I think. You know, I saw something, or someone who looked just like that.
Where?
Did you now?
In Velen, in a castle until recently ruled by a self-proclaimed baron.
That's true.
Now controlled by his right-hand man, Sergeant Ardle.
Well, I didn't remember that,
We must
but...
go and get the creature. I don't know, buy him, kidnap him.
The thing's clearly cursed. Its mind is a jumble. Can't have anything resembling a normal conversation with it.
Grumbling won't get us anywhere. All will be well. A curse, please. Nothing a sorceress and a witcher couldn't handle.
You might be right about that.
Now, tell me, do you... No, never mind.
What? What did you want to say?
You were gonna ask me something. What was it?
Tell me, do you think... Is there a chance that thing might be Ciri?
What?
That... well... she's been transformed by some curse?
Don't even want to think about it.
Geralt,
Did not even
We must.
occur to me that might have been a possibility.
From what I know, she was looking to cure a powerful curse while in Novigrad. But I'll lose it if I try to deal with that possibility now. We have to do what we can.
That is true, I do remember
see what
that.
happens.
She is looking to cure some kind of curse. I feel like that would, to me, suggest that Ciri... Oh, but we know that she was in Skellige. Despite us going to Velen first and then coming to Skellige, we do know that she actually went to Skellige first and then was in Velen. So the order in which we did things and the order in which Ciri did things was a little bit different. So I was gonna say, we know that Ciri was looking for that cure to some kind of curse while she was in Velen and Novigrad, but that would, to me, that sounds like she's looking to remove that curse from someone else, not herself, was at least my thought. But I suppose it's possible she's trying to remove it from herself. I don't know.
Ciri's trail in Skellige. We followed it, exhausted the possibilities. Might be time to go back to the continent.
Sounds like it may be.
before you do, there's one thing. It's important.
Oh?
What's that?
Let's meet in Larvik, at the Warriors' Hall. We'll speak there.
Okay. But do need some time. In
Can we do this
theory,
later?
there is still a werewolf
Sorry,
on the prowl
need to
around
take
here.
care of something.
That may or may not
Well, if
be
you
someone we
must,
can
you
still do
must.
something with.
I shall wait for you in Larvik for a time. If you don't make it, we'll meet in Vizima. After all, we do owe the Emperor a report.
I actually wonder if that is
Ciri's
time.
our concern, ours alone.
Perhaps. But that is not what we agreed with Emir. We must see him.
Awfully loyal of you? Oh, man. Yeah, because there are definitely... I mean, we did this, basically, the first thing we did on this island was to do the main quest. And there are definitely many other things in this garden that we want to do, and then other things on the island as a whole. So it's not exactly going to be very quick that we make our way back over to reconvene with Yen. So I do feel like there's a pretty decent chance that if she will truthfully only be there for a little while, that we'll have to meet her up in Vizima instead. But that's probably okay.
Being awfully loyal to your patron.
He's your patron as well, dear. Don't forget that, lest he remind you of it himself.
Okay. I refuse to report to him. Wow. Okay, so that's interesting. That's a pretty big statement. So, he's technically our employer, Amir, the Emperor of Nilfgaard, but he is also technically the birth father of CIRI. However, we are basically CIRI's adopted parents, so we could kind of try to get him out of the picture if we refuse to report to him and basically turn this into our own personal mission. Or we could say, alright, so be it. We'll work with him for now, even if we're not a huge fan of his, and this feels pretty personal. I think we do stick with this, because, I mean, he is the Emperor of Nilfgaard, he is our employer, and so that's a pretty good reason to not get on his bad side. And if we are on his good side, then he could definitely do a lot to help us find her. I mean, of course, we are the primary person that he's sending out to do all this investigative work and find her, but yeah, I think not the type of person you want to have mad at you.
If we gotta, we gotta. So be it.
We'd never have known CIRI had returned if not for Emma and his agents.
That's true.
We owe him this.
Well, maybe not the owing
See
part,
you
but
again. Take care of yourself.
even for our own personal reasons, good to have him on our side.
It really is important to me. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tarry.
Really? We really need to go there ASAP? This does concern me, because like I said, there are definitely things that we need / want to do here. Oh, is this going to be locked? Oh. I don't like that. It does, in fact, appear in that case. Oh, well, okay, no, maybe we can go around this way. I was gonna say, it did seem like... New quest, ugly baby, oh dear. Okay, we'll check that out in a second. But it does seem like we may have lost the chance to do things with Morkvarg. That is what I was most interested in. Wow, we are getting tons of quests here. Okay, let's take a quick look to see, can we still investigate some of those things? So, like, meet Yennefer in Larvik. This is technically a secondary quest, though she's saying we should make a point of doing it quickly. Otherwise, she's going to skedaddle and she's not going to be pleased with us. So that does seem like that's probably pretty important. Then, wolf's clothing. Get rid of the werewolf in the garden. Okay, if this is its own quest, then I feel much better about this. Get rid of the werewolf in the garden, talk to Einar about the curse. Because I think that at least increases the likelihood that we could theoretically leave, come back, and do this on a future occasion. It did kind of seem like it was going to be something that we needed to do right here and now, and I was worried that if the garden was sapped of all life force because he's trapped in the garden and that's somehow related to the curse, that might have prevented us from finishing this quest and we might have failed it. But it seems like we might have just barely snuck by, and we could perhaps wait to do this later and make a point of going to meet Yennefer and Larvik now, because that does seem like that is definitely time sensitive. But it does seem like there's a lot of things going on now. Things are, as we might have expected, picking up speed. Okay, and this is now the main quest, is in Kaer Morhen. Yes, so confirmed, that was the last main quest thing for us to do in the Skellige Islands. So tell the Baron Sergeant you want to take Uma, which is the cursed creature-like thing that Geralt was alluding to before. Geralt knew Uma currently resided at Crow's Perch. The Baron's bandits, hungry for a bit of refined entertainment, had made Uma their jester. Geralt knew he would have to put an end to this farce, take the unfortunate being from Velen, and, with Yennefer's help, try to lift the curse that held him. So, yes, it says Kaer Morhen, but Crow's Perch is in Velen, so that's a little strange. I wonder if we're going Crow's Perch in Velen and then we take him to Kaer Morhen. But either way, I don't think this is what we do next. I think we still have plenty of things that we're looking to do on Skellige while we're here. And I think that Yennefer... Alright. I think this has suddenly risen to the top of our list because I'm hoping that we can delay this and come back for it later on. Not certain, but fingers crossed. So let's save, because a lot has happened. A whole lot. But now we should be able to head over to chat with Yennefer, and I suppose if we had known that was going to be the case, then we could have taken her offer to just basically fast travel over there. But there is a fast travel spot right here, so that should suffice. And Larvik? Oh, it's actually here. We've not been there yet. That is the other town around here, so I suppose in that case we cannot fast travel there. Huh? Is there a random alchemist here? Not entirely sure, but I think that another thing that will probably wait a little bit is general exploration of this island. I mean, these are some of the big things, was Lofoten, the town, and then this garden here. We still have things to do in the garden, yes, but the other big thing would be this city here, or this town. So I think we'll save other, more unguided exploration for a future occasion in that case. Probably means we're looking to summon Roach here. Well, Roach would be faster, yes, but I am a fan of going on foot when we are going somewhere for the first time. But I think it's just a lot easier to catch things on the side of the road. I'm always suspicious of waterfalls. Oftentimes, there's loot somewhere nearby. Good loot at that. And bridges. Always something good under the bridges, I'm telling you. Except for when there isn't. Except for when there isn't. Right? Oh, well, okay. It's just for a second there telling us we're in Freya's garden, but we're looking to go this way, it would appear-ish. Make that... Hold on. There are too many branching pathways here. Oh. Well. No, we're going right. It's just the path is not terribly direct. So our quest marker is kind of telling us to cut straight through the forest. But I think now we go here, and this should do the trick. And yeah, the weather has gotten awfully moody, it would seem. Oh, what is this?
Something really did tear him to pieces.
New quest, Strange Beast. Okay, that would appear to be a Witcher contract, based on the title. And that does concern me a little bit, because Witcher contracts, usually you want to negotiate the price with someone before you start investigating a bunch of things, but this seems like something a little bit different in that case. On the Isle of Hindersfjall, not far from the village known as Larvik, Geralt spied some monster tracks. We didn't, but okay, sure. Where there's a monster, there's work for a Witcher. And where there's work for a Witcher, there's coin to be made. Geralt decided to look into the matter. Okay, so I mean, let's take a quick second here to maybe find those tracks then? Or whatever this is.
Not much left. Beast must have dragged the shredded body to the woods.
Looks like the blood stain was going in that direction, but don't really see it. There we go.
Looks like blood, but... Red clay.
What?
Necker warriors use this clay to mark their position in the pack.
Ah.
Creature leading the Neckers is sentient. Gotta be. Capable
Whoa.
of setting primitive traps, at least.
Okay. I'm guessing Hagubaman is the Necker in question here, but I was actually looking for some footprints, which in theory... Oh. Those footprints? I mean, they're not lighting up with our Witcher senses, which is a little odd. Here we go.
Tracks lead into the woods.
Okay. Follow the tracks using Witcher senses. I mean, we can, but again, this just feels odd, because normally we would
Found a good place for their nest.
negotiate about this stuff in advance and not go and, like, fight the monster in question and take it out before we talk price. So I think we will definitely do this, and we may actually need to explore this cave as the next step in the process. But I am still most concerned about prioritizing the stuff with Yennefer. And, I mean, I don't think it would take long to do whatever that is, but just to play it safe, let's make a bit of a beeline over to town. I think it's this. I think that's it right there. Yeah. Okay, there's another quest here. You're tempting me. What is it? Just in case it's time sensitive as well. Okay, let's just talk to the warriors and then we'll head in the other direction.
Why are you here?
Could ask you the same. Places like this, usually home to necrophages.
I mean, all I could see was it looked like a cave
They're
entrance.
corpse eaters, aye. And they grow bolder by the day. Crawl out to attack the living. We'll kill them all. Clear the mine with our swords in our hands. Honor our fathers in doing so.
Okay, we could help you.
I'm a witcher. Could go with you and help.
And steal the glory due us? No chance.
Oh.
Glory won't
That's one
do
way to look
much
at it.
for you if ghouls are gnawing on your bones.
Come to think of it, he does make a good point.
Makes sense. All right. You lead the way then.
Yeah. That's all good. Just that, I'm actually looking to go in the opposite direction is the only thing. If that makes us lose the quest, then I'm not gonna be happy. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Alright, so, hold on. Maybe that was not the best quest to just, you know, look to start and then put it on our list and then come back to on a later occasion. Because, yeah, we did, in fact, fail that. So, let's just take a quick look at some of our saves here. I think we might just want to rewind the clock a couple minutes here. This looks like this is right on the outskirts of the cave, the Neckers.
The ugliest man alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman.
That's the first time we've heard this on our loading screens, since that updates every once in a while when we make progress on our main quest. Okay, so let's just follow these tracks real quick, make it over
Found
to
a
here,
good place for their nest.
where we find the cave, and then, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but now, instead of exploring the cave, and instead of checking out that other quest over there, that can wait, we're gonna go straight to town, and we're going to listen to Yennefer, and talk to her first. And this, I believe, is going to be a horse race, because, yeah, there is a horse race here. I do remember that being the case. I'm deliberately not going to talk to these people, although on a future occasion we definitely will. I mean, maybe, you know, we don't need to be that extreme. Don't need to go quite that hard on the whole prioritize Yennefer over everything else type of thing. But, you know, did just see what happened in the previous occasion. So, sometimes it is important. So let's see, it is... which one? Last Wish. So let's actually read up on this. Before Geralt and Yennefer parted after their adventure in Freya's garden, the sorceress asked him to meet her in Larvik. He made it clear this was a personal matter, but gave no further details. Okay, so this makes me think... It reminds me a lot of when we were talking to Triss back in Novigrad, when she was saying something pretty similar, basically before she was heading out. She wanted to check in with us and see what the state of our relationship was. So I'm expecting something similar here. That is a huge horse. Is it just me? Or is this horse extremely tall? I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining things. Okay, let's take a look at the message board as well, where we can potentially get some additional quests. Teacher for my daughter. Who will teach my daughter how to use a bow? The girl is already getting decent at sword and spear fighting, but she'll sooner gouge her own eye out with an arrow than hit the target. Okay. Sailing west. Hark ye, good men. Come llamas, what? Come llamas? Setting out to the west with Grettir and Fingjord. The elders say there's nothing out there but sea, krakens, and serpents, but I'm a man who has to see for himself to believe. If you're up for an adventure, we'll still have a few wars free. Okay, there's a chance that might be an actual quest for us to do. Garter's death. Garter, son of Hakan, died during the last raid. His breast was pierced with 3 arrows, like Boromir, but he managed to crush the bowman's head in his hand. What? Managed to crush the bowman's head in his hand before he drew his last breath. His body's already buried in a barrow, but his spirit is feasting with his ancestors. Pour some mead in his memory sometime. That might be something we can loot. Contract, Monster on the High Road. Is that potentially the one that we've already seen? I need a hero. I need a hero for... Okay, no. Not gonna go down that route. A man favored by the gods, or a witcher, anyone really, who's not afraid to stand up to the ghastly creature that's been attacking folk walking... Oh, hold on. The folk walking the main road to Larvik. A reward's been set aside. If you don't fear death and long for fame and ballads, come see the village elder. Okay? Yes, Sphere, you stay home. You've done enough as is. Sphere, you stay out of this. It's not your time. Ragnarok. We've seen some people talk about this. The end of the world. Ragnarok is coming. Sharpen your swords. Hone your fighting skills. Conquer your fear. When the golden cockerel can be crows, when Heimdall rises up, when the Rainbow Bridge opens for the giants, the sons and daughters of Skellige must be ready for battle. Contract for Morkvarg! That's the werewolf that we were trying to uncurse. Sons and daughters of Freya. Another year has passed in which Morkvarg plays our goddess's gardens. Whoever musters the courage to eliminate this evil will gain fame amongst mortals and the favor of the immortals, as well as a prize from the temple's vault. Ooh. So they're assuming that someone is going to kill him, but we know that that doesn't work so well. But we were ideally looking to uncurse him. I mean, we did technically kill him, and then he presumably will come back, but we sort of have a plan for uncursing him. That is very interesting. And we should also get a bunch of question marks as well on our map for other things to investigate. Or potentially. At least some. This one here, we're probably going to end up going to this town anyway. And probably we're going to check that out as well. But, okay. Okay. Now, let us actually duck in. And, I mean, we could check in with the tavern keeper, who I suspect probably does...
Greetings. Impressive tavern.
Okay, I suppose we barely looked around at all.
It's the House of Warriors.
Oh, sorry.
So what do folk do in the House of Warriors? Fight?
At times, one will take the other and give them a good slapping, aye?
I suppose so, every now and again.
Folk come here to drink, eat, warm their bones by the fire, chatter a bit. Maybe listen to a skull bay to the moon.
So, you know, like a tavern.
What folk do at a tavern.
Don't ever say that word in here again.
Continentals don't understand a thing. You need some of our mead. Brewed wisdom it is.
Okay, so yeah, we can play you at Gwent. However, let's check what you have.
Let me have a look.
To purchase first. Ooh, there's some unusual ones here. And we do need, I think, a little bit more cherry cordial, actually. Not this much, but maybe as little as 3 or 4. This, don't recall, might actually be an ingredient for some things. So I'm a little bit tempted to pick up at least a couple of them. Yeah, let's pick up 3. Not that expensive. But you don't have any Gwent cards. How dare you not sell us Gwent cards? You know what that means. That means we need to destroy you at Gwent.
Yearning to play a few rounds of Gwent.
We are yearning to play Gwent. Okay, so we, as of late, have been using our monsters deck. It is, I think, probably our weakest deck, but we've only used it, I think, twice thus far, and so in the interest of getting the chance to use it a little bit more and continue to try it out, maybe that's still what we go for here. Okay, so you're Scorytail, you'll go first. Let's see, we have a decoy, we have Scorch, We have Impenetrable Fog. We have lots of special cards, but not a lot of units. Which is a little bit it's very concerning, to tell you the truth. We have 2 vampires, which is not good because they are muster cards. They bring all their cards of this type from our deck onto the playing field. So we want to have only 1 in our hand and the rest in our deck. So to have 2 from the same set is not helpful. So that means we probably do want to get rid of you. Leshen is a good pickup. Then we can switch out 1 more card, and I'd probably like to get rid of one of our special cards, like, say, the Commander's Horn. And from that, we got, I think, the Dragon. I think that works in our favor. Okay, you're starting with Dandelion, which will double other cards in the melee row. So that's a thing. Let's see. I mean, we could even throw out our own Dandelion. Might not be a bad idea, or maybe Arcairin, a hero, so that we're Scorch-proof. Scorch will move the highest card on the playing field, other than heroes, and this is a hero, so it's immune. Okay. You're also playing in the melee row, which is understandable, because, like we said, Dandelion will double things. We could use our dragon here to destroy cards in the melee row, if it has 10 or more strength in melee row, and you do. But we might be able to get a little bit greedy and wait and see if you have a little bit more that you could play in there, and then we could destroy even more, as long as if they are tied for the highest strength, then we will destroy all of them. So like right now they have a 5 strength unit that's getting doubled to 10. If they play more 5 strength units, those will also get doubled to 10, and if they're all tied for the highest at 10 strength, then we'll destroy them all. So that's the ideal set of circumstances, but we don't necessarily know if that's going to happen. As for right now, I think I'd like to save our Catachan, maybe even our Raucous. I think we're probably throwing down, well, so we did play the Karen, so like we may want to go on the melee row here. I suppose we'll do this. It's just this is our big play, because that brings out all of our vampires from our deck, like we were saying. Okay, see, this is perfect, actually. So they're gonna do something very similar to what we just did, bring out all their cards from their deck. However, what did I say before? If they have a bunch of cards that are tied for the highest in the melee row, we can destroy them all in 1 round. And now is looking like a pretty good time to make that happen. So, bye-bye. Thinking they're probably gonna pass. No! Okay. They're playing a Spy, which allows them to draw additional cards. Sure. But, I mean, I don't really want to play more cards when we have a 40-point lead, because that's a pretty comfortable lead. So I think we pass here, and we dare our opponent to play more cards to try to beat us. I mean, we could have played Dandelion and doubled all these cards, but that's probably overkill, and yeah. Oh, we get to keep 1 card on the playing field. That is our special ability as monsters. It's a random card, and it happened to be our highest card out there, so that's pretty sweet. That worked out well for us. Then, because our opponent did play a Spy, they got to draw 2 cards in the process, so they now have card advantage, which might be reason enough to keep this round pretty short and try to basically force them to play additional cards, try to catch up to us, and get as close as possible as being even on cards for round 3, and go for the victory there. I think that's what we go for. But the thing is, we have Dandelion, which will double every other card in the melee row, and then we have our leader ability, which does the same thing, except they do not stack. So I'm thinking for that reason what we do here is we want to... I think we want to... Leader ability, double the melee row now, then we're going to pass next turn. We're going to keep the dragon out there, because that's going to... Oh, unless you destroy it like that. Okay, so that kind of ruined my plan, but, great. So much for that, then. We could play the Arrakis Behemoth and get it out there just for the sake of carrying over a card into round 3, because that's, again, our ability. I think we might want to do that. I don't think we have any Oh, we do have other cards that get mustered. Okay. Alright, maybe we're going for the win in this round after all. Though... So the thing here is I was tempted to pass now, because we've gone out and done a bit of a sprint here, get a fair bit of strength out early, and I'm thinking that we pass, force our opponent to play ideally multiple cards to have to catch up to us, and then try to get ourselves even, or maybe even have card advantage for round 3, and then that means that should be able to go for the round 3 victory. Problem is, we did just play what was very much our strongest remaining card, or probably our strongest remaining card, with that last play there. So we won't have much left over, is the problem. But I think we give it a shot. So our hope here is that it takes our opponent multiple cards to catch up to us. That is a big card. So you can, in theory, do it quickly, yes, but, well, it's going to take them multiple, though. Ooh, Medic means you can bring a card back from your graveyard. Okay, but it took you a bunch of cards to catch up, so I think we're fine with that. So that means we're on 6 cards, they're on 4 cards. We carry over our card from the previous round, because that's our special ability. So things, I think, are looking decent. And we do have Scorch, which removes the highest card on the playing field, which is dangerous, because it can potentially come back and destroy our own cards. But I think we might even want to play it now to destroy the card that they just played. Now, tell you what, heroes are immune to it, these two here. So let's actually play CIRI. It'll bide a little more time. We're hoping that our opponent has another card that they want to play that we can Scorch as well. Like this, because again, same deal as what we saw before. If you have cards that are tied for the highest strength, then it removes them all. So this will remove both of those 6 strength cards on the opposing side. I think we go for that here. Because this is going to be pretty difficult for them to catch up. And yes, they play another 6 strength card, which means that we could have potentially stayed patient and removed that one as well if we played Scorch on the next turn. But I wasn't sure if they're going to play anything bigger than 6 strength, or double one of those 6 strength cards into 12 and make it such that, yeah, like now we would have only destroyed this card, not those 2 that we got rid of in the melee row. So bit of a compromise, but okay, now we'll play our double the melee row cards. Except thing is, CIRI is a hero, so she doesn't get doubled, so we're only doubling this little Arrakis here, which is not a huge deal. We could bring cards back to our hand if we really wanted to, but that's not really going to do anything here. We have 1, and this is the range nerf, so if we want to win by more, then we could do this, and weaken our opponent, and just rub it in their face and say, take that. Okay. So there we have it. Now, we won the coins, yes, but did you give us a card from beating you? No. Wow. We've faced many people in a row who have not given us cards after beating them at Gwent, which is not a pattern that I'm pleased to experience. Okay.
Nothing here for you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not bad.
You okay? Yennefer, though, is... where? Huh? We actually supposed to talk to the peasant? I mean, our quest marker says she's right here. Call me crazy, though, but I... Oh, there you are. That's a little bit off the mark. I was like, Yennefer? What happened to you? Lots changed in the past 30 minutes.
Always did know how to win, friends.
I was provoked.
Saw it happen. Wanted to talk to me about something?
Amos Var Ipsis, a specialist on djinns. Heard of him? I found a tome he'd penned in the Emperor's library. Var Ipsis set off for Skellige one day and was never heard from again. I asked some of the local folk. Some here still remember him.
What happened to him and why are you interested?
They know what happened to him?
The locals say they last saw his ship off the coast of Hindisfjall.
Okay.
Then a once-in-an-eon storm broke.
Once in an eon,
So
you
he's
say?
probably fish food by now.
Not necessarily. I must learn what became of him.
Why? Do you know him?
No, it's not the mage who interests me. It's his djinn.
Excuse me? That sounds like that could lead to a lot of trouble. Why do you want a djinn?
Why are you even interested? Djinns are dangerous sometimes, and malicious all the time.
I remember. But the advantages outweigh the risks.
Do they, though?
If I can tame a djinn, I shall gain incredible power. And that could be useful to us one of these days.
Yeah. But, like, what are the chances of that working out? Because, something tells me not so good. Also, how do you know he had a djinn to begin with?
You sure this mage actually had a djinn?
His books strongly suggest he did. He describes taming one, harnessing energy from its power.
Storm wouldn't pose a threat if he'd had a djinn. He could just utter a wish.
Perhaps he had none left, or something unexpected happened.
Alright, well, what do you want from us?
Alright, so what exactly do you expect me to do?
You must help me find this djinn.
Somehow I knew that was gonna be what
I have
happened.
no gold to offer in reward, but I shall be ever so grateful.
Excuse me, no gold, no Geralt, nah. Alright, we'll help.
Since you put it that way, fine, I'll help you.
Thank you. A boat awaits in the harbor. Come.
Right now? Maybe right now. Bestiary entry added.
You've managed
Djinn.
to prepare everything already.
I have.
How could you possibly know I'd agree?
I didn't. Decided to risk it.
Oh, okay, that's one way to do it.
The landing's not far.
Alright, I do want to read up on those djinns. Ooh, that's not how you do that, though. Hold on. Bestiary. So, I'm assuming they're some kind of specter? No, they're an Elementa. Djinn. That looks very strange. Ominous, I guess? The picture emitted a puff of glowing red smoke. Smoke pulsated, then gathered into an irregular sphere floating in front of the poet's head. First longing, a tale fantastic in all ways. The djinn is a powerful air spirit. I suppose that's why it's an Elementa, not a specter. A condensation of the power of said element endowed with consciousness and character. The latter, usually nasty. According to legend, djinns can grant even the most far-fetched wishes. Maybe witches as well. Though they do so begrudgingly. Unusually powerful mages can capture and tame these beings. A mage who succeeds in doing so can then draw energy from such a spirit, using it to cast spells without having to summon the power from traditional sources. Might have, say, allowed us to not have to draw the energy from that sacred garden that people are not so pleased for us for having done. Only a handful have ever managed this feat, however, for djinns fight to avoid such a fate with stubborn determination. To imprison a djinn and bend it to one's will, one must first weaken it, and that is no easy task. That sounds like where we come in. Fighting djinns is extraordinarily difficult. They can fling off spells in an instant that the most accomplished human mages could never master with years of preparation. What's more, by manipulating the element of air, they can summon gales, powerful storms, even hurricanes. Yen was saying that the mage's ship had a once-in-an-eon storm that had to get shipwrecked. If the djinns can control the weather, then that leads me to believe that maybe that was the djinn that was behind that. Luckily, as magic beings, they are vulnerable to silver, yet steel will do them no harm. A dimeridium bomb and elemental oil is theoretically the way to go against them. Out of curiosity, what level is this quest? Because, you know, they're talking about how djinns are no easy feat to get rid of, but it's only level 15. That is a little strange. But I suppose could still be a very mechanically difficult fight, even if it's not necessarily a high-level fight. So I suppose we'll upgrade our gear, or sharpen it up with all that.
Just once, you might try to take the initiative.
Would you even let me?
It would depend on the situation.
This is your quest. You're telling us what to do here. You're basically our employer on this occasion. But yeah, I think on this occasion, we're probably okay to go ahead and go through with all this, because again, there's the whole question of there's a lot of things happening right now, and potentially some of it that could be time sensitive. I mean, Yennefer was perhaps, or she was being very pushy about this, so maybe that was at or near the top of the list, but the other one, like we were saying, was in wolf's clothing, and I think that might be it in terms of other things. But of course oh, and I suppose the quest that we started and then failed in about 5 seconds with those guys trying to go into that cave, and then we said, let's save that for another time. I assume that we will be able to check that out on a future occasion, but don't know for sure.